So yeah, let's just go ahead and start out on the daily time frame here, guys. We are going to chart out our previous day high, previous day low. So our previous day highs continue to be pretty much our all-time high levels pretty continuously. We'll chart out that previous day low down here on NQ. Then we're going to go over to ES and chart out that previous day high, previous day low over here. Just like that. And you can see we haven't moved too much, right? Overnight movement wasn't anything crazy. We've just been kind of in that previous day range here, right? We've seen a decent amount of movement, but nothing too wild. So on the daily, we still have that daily bullish for value gap below us. Right, got that daily busy down here. Boom, 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 boom. On ES as well, so we both have, NQ and ES both have that daily busy. So we'll go ahead and chart that out. And we also created a daily bullish order block here on NQ, right, with that close above that Friday candle. Gives us an order block, down close candle. So we still have some good support here for the longs, right? Even though we are at all-time highs, we still have some good support for it. So, yeah, that's on the daily. Obviously, daily still looks pretty bullish here. Let's go down to the 4-hour time frame. See what the 4 hour is looking like here. So the 4 hour, we did come down and inverse a 4 hour bullish fair value gap here. We did create a bearish order block here with this up close candle. So we have inversion. And then we have a 4 hour bullish fair value gap down here, or balanced price range. But we did get that inversion on the 4 hour time frame, so that's something we want to keep an eye on. Right, a disrespect of that level. ES also created a 4 hour bearish fair value gap up here. NQ did not create that same imbalance, but we did on ES over here. So we'll be looking at that level as a possible bounce level there on ES. And then we'll be looking at this order block on NQ as a possible bounce level. If we're going to move down, this would be the level that we'd want to see price start to move down from, right? That order block and this IFEG level down to this 4 hour bullish gap. But again, like, we still got to look at our other time frames here, right? Because we're still technically delivering from a 4 hour busy down here. But that inversion definitely does show me a little bit that we could see a little bit of a pullback, right? We could see a little bit of the bears stepping in because of that inversion. Besides that, on the 4 hour, what else do we see? I see a swing low down here just below that hourly over there from Friday. Alright, so we'll just chart that level out just in case price is super bearish and we do see a crazy move down. Then we'd be looking for those lows, but we'll see how much volume we even have today. Let's go down to the hourly time frame. Let's see what the hourly is showing us. So the hourly on NQ also got inversed. This huge hourly gap that we created yesterday just got inversed. So we just closed below that level. Or we closed below that level a few hours ago. We're delivering from an hourly bearish fair value gap up here. And then we have another hourly bearish fair value gap right here that we are trading in currently. That we actually did wick out of before. So this 1 hour SIBI here. And then we have a 1 hour busy. So, okay, what is this? What is this kind of setting up? What is this looking like going into open? It looks like it could be a pure range day. Right, we're going to be opening right around a hourly bearish for value gap and an hourly bullish for value gap right around VWAP. We've inversed a big hourly bullish for value gap, and we've also inversed a bearish for value gap here. We know that there's no news, no red folder news day today. And if we just kind of look at, the VIX going into open, okay, the VIX hasn't really moved too much. Volume delta pretty low. That's typical before market open, but we'll kind of have to see what that looks like once the market opens. But yeah, right now I'd say we do look like we could range between these fair value gaps. So if we aren't going to range, we basically have to wait for us to push through either the bullish fair value gap or the bearish one on the hourly time frame before we can see actual expansion or see some movement, before we can be really convinced that price is actually going to expand down to previous day high, previous day low level. But I really would not be surprised if we ranged inside of our previous day range the entire day, guys. That would not surprise me at all. I think that could be a pretty strong possibility here. Yeah, I really do think that's a strong possibility of us just kind of ranging between hourly levels. Let's go down to the 15 real quick and just kind of chart out our previous session liquidity, see what we have to work with here. Right, so all the way up here, 9:45 p.m. Looks like that's going to be our Asia high, unmitigated up there. Let's go down to the 15 on ES as well. Looks like we also have that unmitigated Asia high level there. Okay, so that could be a decent target here. Right above that, it looks like we have our London high right here at 3:15 a.m. So we haven't taken that yet on NQ. We do have that right there on NQ. ES has taken that London high, so we do have a little bit of bearish SMT right now. But I really wouldn't be surprised if we wanted to come up and take that London high, possibly even before the market even opens. And then Asia low, looks like we have taken our Asia low already, but we also have our London low. Okay, never mind. London low has also been swept. But we can still chart out this low, right? That's still going to be a key low down there. But we did sweep, technically, we did sweep our actual kill zone London low level. ES did not, though. ES still has that London low level down here. So, yeah, we do have some previous session liquidity. It is looking... This is another indicator of a possible range day, guys, is when we have previous session highs and lows below us that have been unmitigated before market open. A lot of the time, we're going to see us kind of go grab both sides of that range. And when it's previous session liquidity, it gives us even more insight, right? So I would not be surprised if we came up and took out our London high, Asia high. We traded back into this hourly bearish gap up top. And then we see the short step right back in and try to trade down for that kind of London low area. Right, we just have so many hourly gaps. So we have this big hourly SIBI here, and then we have hourly busy, and then just looking at the 4 hour, we have that inversion, but ES also has this 4 hour SIBI. So yeah, right now this is really looking to me like we are just setting up for a range day. So that means to me, I'm not going to be looking for crazy expansion right now unless, you know, I see a real reason for that. If maybe the market opens and we just start expanding, we start running through a, you know, fair value gap on the higher time frame, then cool, I'll start looking for expansion. But just going into open, I'm expecting more range, so I'm going to be looking for more range-bound type of trades, right? That means we're going to be looking more to scalp the market instead of try to hold on to a longer trade, right? So do we have any type of entry model going into open that might set up a quick little trade right at open? On the 15-minute, I don't really see anything. We did inverse this 15-minute bearish fair value gap, but we got fair value gaps everywhere on the 15 here. On the 5 minutes, I do see some internal liquidity down here with that hourly busy below us. So we could come down and sweep internal liquidity going into that hourly and then see a pump out of that level up to that Asia and London high level. That's a possibility, right? Come down to VWAP, come down to that hourly, sweep internal sell side liquidity, and then see the long step in from there. So that's something we could look for, right? We do still want to be careful there just because we're going to be trading right back into that hourly fair value gap, right? But that could be a decent setup, right? Could be a decent setup. So we'll see if that wants to happen. We can also look at our range, right? And if we chart out using the fib, let's say swing high to swing low, we could see a 50% retracement down here. So we could see this one come all the way down to the discount of that range. Or right at open, we're just going to see us run up for London high, for Asia high, and then we'll be looking for the shorts out of that Asia high level up here, right? So that's kind of what I'll be looking for going into open. And then I'll just be kind of reading, are we going to close above this fair value gap up here and run for all-time highs? Or are we going to respect that, give us a reversal model, and come right back down for sell-side liquidity? So yeah, bias is range-bound. That's pretty much all I'm looking at here. Obviously, all-time highs, we always got to be thinking longs still, right? We got to be thinking longs. But when I see all of these gaps above and below, it just makes me want to see some range-bound PA with no red folder news. You can see kind of low volume PA right before market open right now. Looking at ES, we don't have a ton of really big levels on NQ, at least on Bookmap right now. Nothing major going into open. No really levels that have more than 30 something orders. So yeah, guys, we'll see what happens at market open. It opens here pretty soon, about 40 seconds. We'll see which kind of side of this range we want to sweep first, and then where we want to go from there. We'll be looking for more of a scalp type trade. That's what I'll be looking for this morning. As always, let's trade smart. Only take A+ setups. And yeah, guys, we'll see what the market gives us. We will see. Morning, Travis. Morning, ST. All right, so market is opening right now. I have a range-bound bias, ST. Range-bound bias. So we did just come up and take out that London high level there. Still in this hourly fair value gap, so it looks like we could come down. Sweep this internal sell side like I was talking about. Let's see if we put any major levels in on Bookmap. Still no major levels yet on the book. Not too much volume here at open. You know, an okay amount of volume, but nothing crazy yet. Decently bullish open across the board here with our top 7. So, okay, ES just came down and cleared that internal sell side. Let's see if NQ does the same. Okay, so we just cleared that internal sell side liquidity. We're coming down to this hourly. Actually, a pretty strong first candle there. Pretty strong down close candle. We are now in that hourly bullish for value gap. So let's see if we are going to bounce from this hourly and then push back up, or if we're just going to kind of run right through this. Starting to get a little bit of selling pressure here. Okay, a lot of selling pressure now stepping in. We are running right through this hourly, coming down to 300. We do have more lows. We do have more sell side down here. We just took another sell side level there. So yeah, let's see if we're going to bounce from this area. Right, we'd want to see a bounce from this hourly. If we're not going to bounce from this hourly, we will be looking for shorts if we get inversion of these levels. Good morning, Frank. Okay, a lot of selling pressure here at open. So pretty decent volume here. Pretty much the opposite of yesterday. Right, yesterday we got a ton of buying pressure and pumped like crazy. Right now we are just absolutely dumping. I have a range-bound bias currently right now, Frank, until I see us inverse either side of these fair value gaps. So if we're going to inverse the hourly bullish fair value gaps, I'll be looking for shorts. At least for us to break out, right? If we're going to break out, I'd need to see us close above this fair value gap up here or below our bullish fair value gap down here. But still expecting range. Okay, 23,350. We just got a big order put in there. So that's going to be above these highs up here. So we could expect longs to try and step back in here. Just a pretty big range, right? Like, let's say we did want to see the long step back in and we wanted to take an IFEG entry. You know, that's all the way up here. That's a pretty big 103 tick stop loss just to look for up here. That's barely above a 1-to-1 there. So I'd have to see a little bit better structure for me to trust taking a long. But I do like this area as a good bounce level. We do have bullish SMT down here right now. Oh, Jinx ST, Jinx. Yeah, so we have that bullish SMT. We are in an hourly gap, but pretty bearish open here so far. So let's not try to guess the bottom. Let's wait and see if we're going to get something legit. Oh, you didn't get the alert that I was live? That's weird. Okay, let me send out a announcement real quick. Okay. Thanks for letting me know. Alright, so let's see if we're going to get some inversion back up here, or if this one wants to continue lower. We'll see what happens at this 1 minute bearish for value gap. Still a strong bounce area, with a lot of orders at 350 resting at the swing high up here. But we still have a lot of bearish order flow here, and we are reacting out of that 1 minute bearish for value gap. So we're just going to stay pretty patient right now. Going to stay very patient. But yeah, if we did get inversion back up, could be a little scalp opportunity back up to that 350 level. And then from there, we would be expecting Asia high to get taken at that kind of 750 level. And then I would expect a move back down from that Asia high level. Like I said, just looking for range. Yeah, 200-point scalp. Yeah, by the time we get inversion, this one will be pretty far up here. But we're not getting any inversion yet. Still looking bearish right now. First 5 minute candle closed. We look like we could create a 5 minute bearish for value gap here. Yeah, so that's my original thought, Luke, is we definitely have a possibility of coming back down after those higher time frame inversions. Before I can trust that, I'm going to need to see the 10 a.m. candle open. And I'm going to need to see us close below both of these hourly bullish for value gaps. If that's the case, then I will be looking for shorts. If we don't do that, then I will just be looking for range. Yeah, so right now, like I said before, our strong liquidity level is above us at 350. Kind of the biggest level on the book right now. We're in an hourly bullish, 2 hourly bullish for value gaps. But I just can't really trust until I see inversion, especially with VWAP here. I need to see it close above that. But yeah, on the higher time frame, I mean, we did get inversion on this 4-hour busy. We did inverse the hourly busy. So we're just keeping that in mind. And if we were to come back down and inverse both of these hourly busies, I will be looking for shorts. So we'll just have to be really patient and wait and see what the market gives us. Looks like we might get some bearish SMT up here. ES is already kind of pumping through. Yeah, I'm not ready to jump into anything right now. We just don't have enough volume either way for me to jump in anything yet. We are starting to get some buying pressure though, a little bit more buying pressure stepping in. So that would be that IFEG level there. If I do take a long here, this would be another level where I'd have to go to break even really quick. Just because we'll be trading right into another fair value gap, another hourly, right into that hourly fair value gap. We're going to have bearish SMT up at these highs. So it'd be very hard for me to keep risk on the table when we have a possibility of coming back down pretty quick. So now we have a 4-minute, a 3-minute, a 2-minute, and a few 1-minute fair value gaps right above us. And we could be forming a 5-minute as well with SMT. So might keep me out of jumping into this. Yeah, I like the trade idea, ST. I do. I do like the trade idea. We definitely have buying pressure stepping in, but we are about to get some SMT up here. And we are going to be fighting against a lot of bearish imbalances, so just something to keep in mind. We have about 5 minutes until the orb. Right now, this would be our orb high up here. So now we have that 5-minute bearish for value gap. Got an internal high that's just formed right around VWAP. We did get a little bit of SMT up here with this high. Yeah, you're right. We might get 15-minute inversion as well. This 15-minute bullish for value gap. So the hard thing about this is wanting to see the hourlies get inversed. We'd have to wait until 10 a.m. for that to happen. Right, which I don't mind waiting for that, but sometimes that means the move will be already happening. So if there is a chance to get aggressive with like an orb breakout trade, I will be looking for that because these shorts are starting to set up pretty good. A little bit of bullish SMT now. We just still have to keep in mind that we could range back and forth, right? So there could be a lot of fake outs. Could be a lot of fake outs here still. Yeah, this could be just a manipulation type day. But we are coming down. So, again, that pump up, we get bearish SMT, we come back down. Then we dump down, we get bullish SMT. We'll see if this pushes us back up. Uh, 82 orders just got put in. 87, almost 90 orders right below us. Right at 270. See if those get filled. So, yeah, whenever we see a lot of this SMT kind of both back and forth in between higher time frame fair value gaps on both sides, that kind of tells us that we're probably gonna see a decent amount of range. So I'd say currently we look more bearish than we do bullish. Sellers definitely trying to take control of the market. We did just take out that internal low there, so big SMT there. But look at that 15-minute candle, man. That opening range candle is pretty bearish here, and we could get a displacement here on that 15. So wouldn't be surprised if we got an opening range breakout to the downside here in about 1 minute. See where this opening range low is going to be. Let's grab our Fibonacci from the low to the high here. 50% right around here at that 5-minute fair value gap. All right, so now we have our orb. We have our 50% level. Pretty big down close candle, 15-minute inversion there. 5-minute bearish order block. This one looks like it might want to continue lower. So what would that key level be? Would be that previous day low, right? We'd obviously still have a 4-hour busy down here. So there's still a bounce level, and I don't like all of this SMT that we're probably going to get here as well. This does look like it's setting up for a bearish breakout. I just don't like this SMT. We're getting so much SMT divergence. So we have that breakout level there. This one looks like it wants to keep selling off. It's just very hard for me to trust with this SMT. Especially going right into a 4-hour busy. There you go, Dooley. Nice, man. So we do have the 1-minute break, right? We do have a 1-minute order block. So this will technically be a sell alert. Just want to be a little bit more careful with that SMT going right into this 4-hour busy, but shorts are looking decent here. Sellers now really taking control. Looks like, yeah, this SMT doesn't really matter here. So there is potential for this one to come down to that daily busy today. That looks like a strong possibility this morning, especially if we inverse this 4-hour going into 10 a.m. If we inverse all these hourlies, then I'll have no doubt that we're going to head down for that daily fair value gap. But this is still a bounce area. We still have bullish SMT. We're still in a 4-hour busy. So we do want to be careful. But sellers are really trying to hold this one down. Alright, so we finally have a 1-minute fair value gap here after the breakout. This will be a key level because if we come up and inverse this 1 minute, we probably could see long step back into the 50% area. This is where it gets tricky because right here, everything looks bearish, right? But it's a 1-minute bearish for value gap with a 4-hour bullish for value gap with bullish SMT. So, as good as these shorts look, we could really, really be held up here. Yeah, let's see if we're going to take out this low. Not really getting any retracement right now whatsoever. No retracement. Sellers completely in control of this market right now. So, I mean, if I have to wait till 10 a.m. to trade this, then I will. I'd rather look for a trade setup soon. We'll see if we get that. Yeah, I really want to see 170. I really do want to see 170, that daily bullish for value gap down there. But I'd also like to see some kind of retracement here. That really strong 5-minute close outside of the orb there. We still haven't tested any fair value gap or order block since our orb breakout. That's one thing I don't like about this. We just kind of continue to sell off with no pullback. Sellers are completely in control now. Just want to see us give us a little bit of pullback into a good level that we can actually get into a short. We just took out previous day low. Doesn't look like we want to get any pullback here, guys. Looking very similar to yesterday, just the exact opposite way. Literally not one pullback and just such an aggressive sell-off. So I just got to watch this one from the sideline right now. See if we'll get a setup here during the macro. We are about to trade into that daily busy. So this is that weekly profile I was talking about on Sunday. Was Monday, Tuesday, we have a chance of retracing back into the daily busy. And then I would expect a reversal out of this daily busy back up. But right now, price does not look like it wants to reverse. I mean, we just ran through pretty much every key bullish level here without one retracement. We got one retracement up here. And that was it. Yeah, market is balancing out here. Market makers have been on something the past 2 days. Haven't wanted retail to get involved. We still don't have any major levels on Bookmap besides 350 right now. 23,100, we have some orders building. But I just don't see how I can get any part of this trade or any part of this move when we don't pull back. We don't test one FEG. We don't test one order block. We don't get any retracement. We just absolutely dump. We are testing the 50% of the daily. This one looks like it's just going to keep going down. So where's our next key level on the daily time frame? It's all the way down here. Or on the higher time frame, we have a 4 hour all the way down there. 22,835.50. Let's look at the hourly. We have the next sell side level down here at 23,65.75, right around our second standard deviation. This is absolutely insane right now. Another swing low by our third standard deviation. Like, we still haven't pulled back once. I mean, look at that. Look at that breakout with no pullback. That's insane. Yeah, look at those 15-minute candles. That is absolutely crazy. So yeah, I think these hourlies will be inversed. I think that's safe to say. I think that 4-hour will be inversed. And we are just running right through the daily. Yes, I'm definitely not surprised by a pullback. Just been kind of wondering when the pullback was going to happen. But yeah, that weekly profile, I would expect the pullback Monday or Tuesday, and then Wednesday I'd expect long to step back in again. And we could even see long step back in again today. Right, out of this daily fair value gap. But we'll see if we're going to actually bounce from here. Crazy. Past 2 days, man. Past 2 days have just been crazy breakouts with no pullback. What kept you out of shorting it, Brian? Nice, Boyd. Nice, Brian V. So this is where it gets tough, right? Because we are testing the 50% of this daily bullish fair value gap. We still do look so bearish. We are finally retracing into a 1-minute fair value gap. We don't want to chase this one. We do have orders building below at 112.50. So right at the swing low. And a lot of orders at 23.100. So I do expect the shorts to continue here. Just depends how much is this one going to retrace. Especially in a daily busy. Alright, so I still like the shorts here. This is just going to be a risky area to short. Trading out of a daily busy here with a ton of room to retrace right now. But we do have a lot of orders. We have about 102 orders sitting at 112.50, 75 orders sitting at 23.100. So I do want to see the shorts try and step back in. Just going to be difficult to short this one with a good stop-loss placement. I will say shorts are looking good. We are about 2 minutes away from our new hourly, so it would be nice to see the new hourly open push us back up into a bearish for value gap on the 5-minute. And then look for the shorts back down to that 23.100 area. So obviously, if you want to be aggressive, more risky, you could take, you take the shorts already. That's the more risky, aggressive entry. Might play out in your favor with how aggressive these sellers are. We have 1 minute until the new hourly. Yeah, I think this one is just going to keep selling off here, to be honest. So, again, this could be asking for too much, but what I would want to see here at this new hourly candle is for us to retrace into that 5-minute bearish for value gap above, sweep internal liquidity, give us an hourly wick, and then look for the shorts down from that level. So a few seconds till this hourly closes. So we absolutely inversed every 4-hour and 1-hour busy we had. So let's see if we can just get some pullback on this into that 5-minute. Give us a decent entry level up here, or if this one's just going to dump. So right now, looking at how much volume we do have in this market, stop losses are going to have to be pretty big if you want to give yourself a chance to hold on to a trade, right? It's going to be tougher to have a smaller stop loss. We just got to be smart about it. Like, this is just a very difficult area for me to jump into a short, when the only valid stop loss level here is going to be pretty huge, where our TP is just below us at 23,100. Definitely going to be hard to trust that. All right, this order block, well, we didn't close below it, so I wouldn't consider that a valid level yet. But obviously, you can see how much these sellers are taking control, right? How much these sellers want to push this one down. We just don't want to get trapped down here trying to short at the very bottom. Right, and sometimes it's going to mean you do miss out on a trade. But I would rather wait for a pullback and a more valid level to get in than try to chase down here. Especially when our TP, that would be like a negative RR trade, right? So 87.50 right now has a lot of orders. I would just love to see this one come back and take this internal high into the 5-minute. Okay, we know we're in this daily. I'm just going to get rid of that daily. We know we're trading inside of a daily busy right now. So the A+ model here would be a bearish GUI model, right? Just waiting for a sweep of internal liquidity into that 5-minute, give us an inversion back down. It's going to be tough for this one to push back up, though, and give us an actual valid entry. We do have buy-side liquidity right above here, though. We do have a decent amount of orders just resting right here that could push us back down. But you guys can see the structure. Like, it looks like it's just going to absolutely dump, right? It looks like the rug is just about to get pulled and this thing's just going to dump. A lot of orders just got taken off the book below us. We just got a huge amount of orders at 37.50. Like 1,000 orders just got put in at 37.50. If I'm reading that correct. So, yeah, right above us. A lot of orders. A little bit of chop here, so I'm not going to get caught in this chop. All right, let's see if that 3750 level gets filled. Getting closer. Okay, so we just hit that 3750 level. Now we're building a lot of buy side above us. Another 1,000 orders at 6250. This is interesting right now. This is interesting. They are not messing around today, guys. They are not messing around. So yeah, we just kind of wait for this to get out of this chop. Wait for us to come back up and take this internal high. Look for shorts back down. Yeah, that's back-to-back 1,000 orders in the market right above us. We'll see if this one stays on the book. Just slow chop right now. Again, we don't want to get stuck and trapped trying to take an entry here. We want to wait for a valid level. We want to wait for a sweep of liquidity. Yeah, it definitely helps, dude. It's pretty crazy. Alright, so we just hit that level. So tons of orders there. So let's see, we have more 82 orders right at 75. So I'd love to see us come up and sweep this internal high. If we sweep this internal high and inverse back down, I'll be looking for shorts still. Now, if we're going to start pumping out of this daily, we get a 5-minute inversion, then I'll start looking for longs out of this daily. Hey, Kyler. What's up, Kyler? Another 1,000 orders just got put in? Dude, what are they doing right now? Now, 8750 has another 1,000 orders. Yeah, spoof, spoof, spoof. Okay, so still setting up for a short here, guys. We just swept internal highs. We got SMT divergence into a 5-minute bearish fair value gap. If we get inversion back down, I'd still be looking for shorts. Now, if this is going to end up, you know, if this is going to be the bottom of the move, and we just pump right through this 5-minute, then that's when I would start looking for longs to kind of come back up to that orb high or orb low level. But we do have a GUI model set up here. See if we come back down and get inversion, or if this one's going to start pumping. Again, wouldn't be surprised if we try to push up to that 8750 level with another 1,000 orders resting up there. Still have SMT here. So I can't even think about shorting that or longing this until we get some kind of higher time frame or like 5-minute inversion. If that's the case, then yeah, I could actually think about longing it back up. We are losing a lot of selling pressure here. They just continue to move these orders higher and higher and higher. Yeah, somebody was like, I just lost a ton of money with that dump. Just a little bit of margin, just a little bit, nothing crazy. Oh, forgot I keep forgetting to turn my camera on, guys. There we go. Okay, so we just got a small little 1-minute inversion there. We do have that SMT. I would like to see short step back in. This is a little aggressive up here right now. Still going to hold off. I'd want to see that other 1-minute get inverse if I was going to short. Yeah, so the green right here, this is where I'd want to have my entry off of that inversion. I got you, TTS. Are you in the shorts or the longs, ST? Well, if it crashed and it does go bad, then they will need to help you out. No, I have not taken a trade yet. Not taking a trade. This thing dumped without any pullback for hundreds of ticks. So I've just had to sit on the sideline so far. I managed to get the NASDAQ 100. No, I didn't go and fill out that thing, but I'll do that. Okay, so we still have this SMT up here, guys. Oh, then what was the right one? So as I said before, I won't even think about longing this unless we get some kind of 5-minute inversion or something here. Now the orders are resting at 23,200. So they just keep raising those orders higher and higher. We are about to form a 15 minutes Sibby here as well. So which one is the one that you look at there, Kinsey? Yeah, we'll see if these longs start stepping in, guys. If we get this 5-minute inversion, we're obviously now trading right into a 15-minute bearish for value gap here. We still have bearish SMT. Yeah, we have a break of structure on NQ, right? We have that breaker block. We're losing selling pressure. But very hard to trust longs until I can really see some big inversion. Let's see. Wanda, this one right here. There we go. There it is. There's NAS 100 for you. So NAS 100 in comparison, sitting at 54, 23.54. Got you, bro. Yeah, so again, we're still holding SMT right now, guys. We're still in a 15 and a 5-minute bearish fair value gap. This one obviously looks like it's trying to kind of pump back up. Now we have... Yeah, they just took off a lot of those orders, it looks like. Looks like now there's 600 orders there, but they've just been spoofing these orders for a while. They just have continued to kind of raise them higher and higher and higher. So definitely a tough area down here right now. That's why I'm just staying flat right here. Yeah, it would still be risky for sure, DK. Right? Because, yeah, we would still be in a 15-minute bearish for value gap. And we'd also have another 5-minute right above. So I would definitely consider that still to be very risky. Yeah, so right at 200. So let's see what happens if we come back into this 5-minute here. Yeah, market the past 2 days has been pretty crazy. Yeah, these are those days where you really think you're missing out on something, but in reality, The only way to catch trades a lot of the time is if you're absolutely chasing and going against everything, any type of trading plan. So are you really missing anything? Probably not. Obviously, there is moves to be made. There's moves to catch if you're aggressive on it. But for me, when I see the market dump like this without one pullback after the orb breakout for 600 ticks and we didn't get one pullback, and we're trading right into a 4-hour busy, a daily busy, like that's not going to make me want to jump into anything. So we're just kind of stalling here right now. We have a 5-minute busy, internal low here. I'd say our chances of going to Asia high are very, very low. At least right now. That would be a pretty big move for this market to reverse that much. Now, if we're going to do it anywhere, it would be out of this daily fair value gap. But I would say it's still a little bit low for that to happen right now. So now we do have orders building above us. See if we can take this internal low into the 5-minute. Right now, what would make me think about longing? It would still be tougher, it'd still be risky, but if we traded down and took this low into the 5-minute and got inversion back up, okay, maybe I start thinking about it. At least up to 200, right? We still haven't tapped into that 5-minute or taken that internal low. It's one thing I don't like that we didn't take that low right there. So we could see a quick move back up for that 200 level. Still going to sit on my hands right now. We obviously don't even have any inversion. We haven't swept that low yet. So I'm being pretty patient here. Because we still have a lot of selling pressure in this market. Okay, so now we've taken that low. Now we've tapped into that 5-minute. But if we come down, guys, and inverse this 1 minute, especially if we inverse this 5-minute busy, then shorts are right back on the table again. We'll see if we want to pump back up to that 200 level first. All right, we could definitely see us pump up to 200 before we end up coming back down again. Let's see if we get inversion. No inversion. Still respecting this 1 minute. So yeah, past 2 days, I've just had to be very, very patient in this market, guys. With these extreme moves, and then going into chop and tough areas to read. Just got to continue to read the market until I see something that I think is worth taking. So obviously, longs could step in here up to that 200 area. Probably won't see me take it unless we get a close above. Still no close above. The only way I would take this long is if we inverse this 1 minute fair value gap right here. And I would just be looking to scalp it. If we don't inverse that level, I don't take anything. And I wait and see if we're going to come down and inverse the fair value gap down here for shorts. So we have a 2 minute busy, a 5 minute, we got a 3 minute there, we got a 1 minute there. Just got a little displacement on the 1 minute time frame. Bearish order block created. Yeah, right now we're just stalling, so we'll see where this market actually wants to go next. Yeah, we don't want to get caught in these little traps down here. We want to make sure we have a legit entry. So we pretty much have a bearish and a bullish GUI model fighting against each other. Neither have actually gotten the inversion yet. And because we came up into a 5 minute and a 15 minute SIBI, we got we swept liquidity, SMT. But now we're coming back down to a 5 minute busy, sweeping liquidity, SMT. So we're just kind of in between these areas. So just got to see which side inverses. But 116 orders just got put in at 62.50. Just gonna have to keep waiting this one out. However long I need to wait this one out, I will wait. Alright, if we inverse this 1 minute, it's still a risky entry, right? Because we still have a 5 minute busy that we're inside of. But if we inverse this level, could see shorts come right back down, especially if we inverse the 2 and the 3 minute as well. And if we don't, we'll just see if this one comes right back up. Now it's coming right back up. So it's kind of one of those areas where it's like long from here, short from here. Right, kind of like that. Just kind of waiting to see which side wins. So don't jump into an entry because you're bored, right? Just because you feel like you want to take a trade. Just wait for confirmation. This PA right here is just gonna destroy you. Hey, what's up, Mark? Nice, man. Yeah, you haven't missed anything yet on my end. I haven't taken any trades. Just saw an absolute dump. Nice, 85 ticks. There you go. You catch a piece of the short. Nice, dude. Good stuff. Hey, there we go, Brown Mamba. Way to come back with a clear mind. That's what you do, man. Switch to a different account, come back with a clear mind. It's good psychology. Okay, guys, are the longs going to set up here? I might look to take this one long. If we close above right here, if we have a decent level. If we close all the way up here, then I can't be involved in it. Looks like we might do that. So, yeah, I mean, we have the buy area, but now we're already very close to our TP. Right, we just moved through half of that move on the last few seconds of that candle. So, if we can come back down and test the IFEG, then I'd look for the long. But if we're going to stay up here, I can't touch that. I'm not going to have a negative RR on this. This one just literally closed halfway through the move there, right? So it makes it impossible for me to get that entry and feel comfortable with it. So now we just took out that internal high. Still in a 5 in a 15-minute Sibby. 225 is a decent level right now. So it's annoying when NQ does that because, you know, I'm waiting for a trade. Looks like a good setup. And then by the time the setup is there, it's way too far from my entry, giving me a negative RR on my setup. So, not going to jump into that. Right, I'm not going to jump in up here for 48 ticks, right? Because where would my stop loss have to be? It'd have to be 67 ticks. Am I going to do that? No. You're not going to see me do that. So the spoof orders just continue. Now they just raise the orders up higher. And we keep trying to run for those levels, for those orders. Now it's like around 210. So it's just weird PA down here. So we did have bullish SMT down here on the 1 minute. Right now, ES just came up, and we got a little bit more bullish SMT. We don't have any bearish SMT right now here. So yeah, longs do look like they want to step in. Just would rather NQ not run away from my entry like that. Right, and it's easier for me to do that. Like, if my TP level was way up here, I would have still taken that entry. Since my TP level is literally right here, since we have so many orders resting at the internal high, since we have a 15 and 5 minute fair value gap, I'm not going to look to take a 40 tick scalp, right, with a 60 tick stop. Now, it would be different. I would still take that entry if my TP was up here and I was looking for 100, 200 ticks. Then I would still be willing to take that trade, right? That would be different. Then I wouldn't mind having my entry up here because I can still have a 60 tick stop. But relative to that setup, it does not make any sense for me to take that. Unless we got an entry down at this IFEG. So we'll see if this one wants to keep going. Yeah, we just keep on moving these orders higher and higher. Looks like we just keep on chasing those orders. Just really not loving the PA that we're seeing down here right now. All right, but we got to expect price action like this after seeing such an aggressive sell-off at market open. So 225 now has orders. We did just get a displacement above the highs. ES is testing VWAP. So this one's like just slowly trying to grind its way up. But it's really not giving me any good entries here that I really trust. I do like that 5-minute close. We did just create a 5-minute order block here. Looks like this one will keep pumping. Buyers actually now are in control, so we'll be looking for longs. Now that buyers have taken control. They just took control on that last candle. So 225 is that next level we're about to hit. What's up, Josh? How you doing, man? So are we going to see an orb retest here? We still technically haven't inversed that 5-minute. We are in a 15-minute still. The longs do look good. ES just closed above VWAP there. 754 orders above now. This is really interesting. At 230. Okay, let's see if we get a fair value gap entry here. So yeah, guys, longs are in control. I'm looking for longs now. Shorts lost control of the market. This one just, every time I think I have my entry, NQ makes it impossible for me to get in. Okay, we finally have a good fair value gap entry level. Runs away. Finally have my inversion. Runs away. Now we want to look at the 50% of this range. Of our AM range here. We are almost at the premium of this range going into VWAP. So this is still an area we could see sellers take control again. Would just love to see an actual entry. Okay, we're coming back down. Let's see if we respect this 1 minute fair value gap in and start to bounce here. Give us a long. Pretty strong close down. We're losing a ton of buying pressure now. Now we're losing all of our buying pressure. Aggressive down close candle there. We might run right through this 1 minute. So it still looks like longs want to pump out of here, but we just lost a lot of our buying momentum. So I do like that bounce. So again, like if you wanted to be aggressive here, you could look for a long. For me, this is still not a very high probability setup right now. I don't really want to jump into a long here. It's not high probability for me. Because we could see the shorts absolutely dump right here. This is just some weird PA this morning, guys. So, instead of chasing, I preserve my capital until I really feel comfortable and have a full conviction in taking a trade. Yeah, we do have the macro coming up here pretty soon. So long's still looking decent out of here right now. But we're getting right to that level where we could see a reversal back down here. So as I said before, aggressive entry if you're going to long this. Could play out. Still very aggressive. Still a little bit risky. Yeah, so the reason I'm being so hesitant, guys, NQ is just giving us so many conflicting levels here on the chart. So many conflicting levels. Just making me not really want to be involved. Kind of same thing as yesterday. Like, so many conflicting levels on the charts. So many insane volume moves. Just makes me sit on the sideline. And I'd rather do that, as I said before, than chase and take a bad entry. A little bearish SMT up here. We're right around the 50% level right now. And we are testing that break of structure level on the hourly. So this is that key bounce point right here. Key bounce point for shorts to step back in. And if we're going to end up continuing to pump, then when I would just wait for us to get above VWAP, possibly back into the orb. And if we're going to pump all the way back up here, then cool. I'll just look for longs a little bit later on. But right here, this is that area where I would expect shorts to try and step back in. VWAP is our volume weighted average price. It's kind of our 50% level of our ranges. It's a key level. A lot of the time price is attracted to that level to rebalance a range. If we push through that level, we can expect price to continue. If we bounce off of it, we can expect price to continue to dump. Yes, it is an indicator. You can just look up VWAP, volume weighted average price. So like if we were to get inversion down here, guys, with SMT there at the 50%, could definitely see these shorts stepping back in. Still no inversion though. We're still respecting that 1 minute. We're 5 minutes away from our macro. So, just gonna keep on sitting on the sideline here until I have my conviction to jump into something. $758 orders right above us. They just continue to raise these orders higher and higher and higher and higher. Next level after that is 250. Yeah, 325. Right here we have still a ton of orders there. Right above. Again, they raised them again. So this is just keeps on. It's just spoof, 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 raising those orders. We still have bearish SMT up here right around the 50%. We are a few minutes away from our macro, so let's see if we can get a good move here. See if shorts will actually step back in. So we have this 3-minute busy down here. SMT at the highs. We might get a 1-minute IFEG here. Or not. So up here, I'm literally just either waiting for the shorts to step back in from 50%, or I'm waiting for us to clear that 50% level, close above VWAP, and then I'd be looking for longs up here. But I do want to see if these shorts will step back in right now. Give us an IFEG. And it's running away. This is like, this keeps happening. How many times are we going to do this? How many times is NQ going to tease me with a good setup? And then just run away from it? Too many times, guys. Too many times. So then, okay, now that we have the inversion, we're so far away from my entry level, and now we're in a 5-minute busy. It's like, what do you want me to do, NQ? So we do have a breaker, right? Breaker block with that IFEG. And technically, you still could look for shorts out of here, but I'm not going to look for shorts out of this 5-minute busy right now. After sweeping internal liquidity. Now, if we got a 3-minute inversion, it would make it a little bit easier here to trust that. Because now it's like, okay, if I take this IFVG here, I got to keep my stop all the way up here. Which 70 ticks isn't terrible. Let's see what happens at this little 1 minute fair value gap. 2 minute did not inverse. Yeah, NQ is doing us dirty. Thanks, Wolfblade. Appreciate that, man. Yeah, NQ is really forcing me to be patient today. As much as I've really wanted to trade this. Again, like that opening range breakout, yeah, you could have made the argument to take that aggressive trade, for sure. For sure, you could have argued that that's a good trade, and I do think that's still a good setup. But we've been doing this the past few days where we're trading right into some higher time frame key levels when we break out of the orb. So really hard to trust that, and then we don't get any pullback whatsoever. No tests of any key levels. So it just forces me to stay out of it, as much as I would love to be involved. Three-minute, technically closed below there, or open below, didn't close below. Okay, I do like these shorts, guys. I like the fact that we are bouncing off that 1 minute, the 3 minute close. The only thing I don't like is this 5 minute busy here. I just don't like that we're in that 5 minute. We're in a 5 minute busy and a 5 minute bullish order block. One thing that's definitely keeping me out of jumping in. But man, this is where it gets so tough, guys. This is so tough. You get your urges, right? Where you have your read on the market. And then you look and you just see level after level after level completely conflicting each other. Where it's like right here, we could really go either way in this. At this level, we could go either way. Because we still have a lot of orders above. We still haven't hit our 50% technically. We're in a 5 minute busy. And then you look at the 1 minute, okay, we have a break of structure, we have an inversion. So it's just like, okay, this could go either way. Is it a good idea to trade it if it could go either way? It's probably a bit of a gamble. Especially when we know this new hourly candle is about to open with an hourly fair value gap right up here with that 50%. That could be a pretty strong target for the longs here in about 7 minutes. So shorts are trying to go on ES. We're just seeing us kind of being held up. Live. Wolf played a live account. Dang, that coffee was cold. Why do I do that? Yeah. Longs in about 7 minutes. It would be a very good target, right? Hourly gap, VWAP, 50% of the range. Internal highs, bunch of orders. You have that small little 1 minute Sibby here. So if you look at VWAP, you're going to see anchor period session, right? So it is based on the trading session of today. So yeah, it would really be the daily range. Now you can set it for weekly, you can set it for different, but I like looking at the session VWAP. Right, you could anchor it for the week, the month, the quarter, the year, the century. You could even set it for the sentry. Alright, Josh. You take it easy, man. Have a great rest of your day, bro. So I wanted to look for shorts, but then I saw that we're going right into this 5 minute, that the hourly is about to close with an hourly gap opening right above us. We're bouncing off an order block and a fair value gap here, so longs could step right back in. And we could do that thing again where, you know, I want to jump into a long and then we close super far from our entry. That seems to be a common theme today. Like right here. It's like, okay, wait, we finally have an inversion. We might be able to take a long back up out of the 5 minute. Oh, never mind. Let's close 40, 50 ticks away from our entry. Yeah, exactly, Luke. Very, very key level. And see, this is just what keeps happening, guys. It's like every time I think about, okay, maybe I'll look for a trade here. Maybe I'll look for a long. Longs are setting up. Oh, okay. Let's just close 50 ticks away from my entry. And just run right to our TP. Before I can get involved. So NQ's playing a lot of games this morning. A lot of games. This is a nightmare for a lot of retail. Retail is getting wrecked right now. The most reasonable NQ price action. You know, I've actually liked NQ this month. I thought NQ is actually looking pretty good this month. We've been making some money. It's been pretty clean. Past 2 days, not really the case. It's been pretty wild. Yeah, it's just like every chance I think I have for finally a decent entry, NQ just doesn't want me to be a part of it. Yeah, so just yesterday, just break even yesterday. Today, no trades yet. Yeah, last week was great. I mean, last week we had one losing day, but overall, really, really solid week. 4 trading days, 3 winning days out of 4. Yeah, only, well, I guess 2 losing trades last week. The rest were winning. Or no, yeah, 2 losing. Yeah, really solid week last week. This week, literally 1 trade. 1 break even so far. Like, okay, NQ, yep. Just run to our TP. Run to our TP without me. Keep doing me dirty. Keep doing me dirty. More SMT up here. Right, but you see why I didn't want to force a short down here. Even with those inversions, even with the break of structure, I just couldn't trust it going into that 5 minute. Especially when I knew we were about to create an hourly bearish for value gap up top. And that's when I wanted to start looking for longs. I was like, okay, if we get a 1 minute inversion, I might actually be able to take a long here. NQ had other plans. So we have 1 minute until this new hourly candle opens. Yeah, and I want you guys to understand the difference between... There's a difference between being scared to lose and a difference between not trusting market conditions because of so many conflicting levels, right? You're never going to see me have a fear of losing. I got over that fear a long time ago. But I will stay out when the market does not show me clear conviction. And that's what I've seen today. I haven't had clear enough conviction on taking a trade, so I've just stayed out of it. Right, when I don't have clear conviction on a trade and I jump into it, it usually doesn't lead to good things. Sometimes, yeah, we'll still win the trade, but a lot of the time it'll lead to losses. And it leads to a bad mindset trying to force trades. So new hourly fair value gap here. For sure. Yeah, I mean every losing streak or loss in the market is a lesson for me. It's a learning lesson, and I gained something from it. Right? So when I went on a losing streak like that, it definitely taught me a lot more patience. Right? And even though I was a patient trader at the time, that week I wasn't as patient, right? So it definitely taught me to sit back, relax a little bit, be more patient. And then, yeah, you lead that into the next few weeks and it goes really well. So, yeah, every loss, even every win, every trade is, for me, is an opportunity to improve and to learn. You know, even if it's a win, if it's a loss, it doesn't matter. Yeah, so whenever you don't have a clear head, if you see conflicting levels and you don't trust market conditions, it is always better to stay out. Always better to stay out of the market, because if you don't, and you take a trade when you don't have that conviction, it's a very slippery slope. Because one trade leads to another, which leads to another, which leads to another. And if you lose that first trade, when you didn't have conviction, you can go on tilt so fast, guys. So fast, because now you're mad at yourself for taking the trade in the first place. Now you lost money. And now you're going to try to make that money back in that session, and you're probably not going to make that money back. You're probably just going to lose more. All right, that is one of the main psychology lessons and one of the most important things when it comes to your psychology as a trader. If you don't have conviction 100%, if you're not seeing the charts clear, if you don't like it, do not take a trade. Don't do it. Don't do it. It's not worth it. I'll just say that. And that's how I've been today. I just haven't had that clear conviction on any setup yet. And every time I have had clear conviction on a setup, price has ran away from my entry level. So I just haven't jumped in because I don't want to chase. Yes, liquidity is everything in this market. I love that mindset, ST. There you go, man. Yeah, you took an A+ setup that you loved. You managed your trade correctly. Boom, you move on. I love it, dude. Yeah, I'm not saying not to take a trade today, right? If you have your conviction in a trade, cool. You just have to manage it correctly, like ST was talking about. Right, and no, there's not one part of me telling you not to take a trade, right? You got to do what you want to do. But if you are going to take a trade, make sure it's the right trade. Make sure it's an A+ setup. Make sure you have a clear conviction on that trade before you jump in. Make sure you have clear stop loss levels, clear TP. And then, cool. Whatever happens after that, win or loss, you took a good trade. That's all that matters. But I'm telling you from personal experience, the amount of times that I would sit in front of the market, be really patient for a while, and then I would lose my patience, and I wouldn't have conviction whatsoever, and I would jump into a trade, I'd lose the trade, and then I would just snowball. And I would end up blowing an account or losing a lot of money. Because psychologically, once you take that first trade without conviction, you're probably going to take another one without conviction. And then once you lose, you're probably going to try to make that loss back. And once you lose again, now you're going to start over leveraging because now you want to make that loss back quicker. Before you know it, you have nothing to trade with. I love that, Dooley. I love that, man. Yeah, I mean, I think it's key, right? Always stick to the strat, and you can make adjustments to your strategy as, you know, as price is changing. There's little adjustments you can make to your strategy that might improve it, right? Especially when you backtest it, especially when you forward test it. I'm not saying you can't adapt your strategy. You should be adapting your strategy as market conditions change, if need be. But you shouldn't be making drastic changes just because one day of price action is different. That means you don't have consistency, right? You need to be consistent. In an ever-changing market, what's the one thing you can keep consistent is yourself. The market is always going to be changing. It's always going to be different. Every day is going to look different. Keep yourself the same, right? That's how you stay calm in the chaos. There you go. Let's go, man. That's what I'm talking about, bro. Good trade. Right? That's the stuff I'm saying is like, okay, if you took the trade, write down why you took the trade. And if you love the setup, awesome. You had conviction, cool. That's perfect. Yeah, I mean, it's painfully true, right, Slick? It's painfully true. Because I had to go through that. I didn't have to go through it, but I did go through it for a long time. And it never turned out well for me. Never. Like, short term, maybe one day, a few days out of the week, I would do that, and maybe it would work out. Maybe I'd make a little bit of money. But eventually, that account would be gone at some point because it's not consistent. It's not going to be a profitable strategy because it isn't a strategy. Right? It's not a strategy if you're going against a real system. You got to have a system. You got to stay disciplined to that system no matter what. And that's just what you see me doing today, right? There's not one part of me that's scared to take a loss. I don't care. And why would I be scared to take a loss anyways when I'm already in profit on the month, right? So it's like all I'm doing is risking profits this week. So I have no fear of losing, right, whatsoever. But I don't see my A+ setups in alignment with market structure. So I sit on the sideline. And the two times I have seen my A+ setup, look at it. The first time was right here, where we completely ran away and right to TP. And the second time was right here, where we completely ran away right to TP. So the only two times I've actually trusted, you know, wanting to take a setup, we ran away. So you just accept that, move on. And I can live with it, especially because I know that, okay, I haven't taken a trade. That means I haven't taken a loss, right? I'll take that. I think price, trading is hard. Indeed it is, man. Indeed it is. Anybody that tells you it's easy is not telling the truth. Right? But if you make the hard decision, it makes trading easier. If you do the hard things, it makes trading easier. If you take the easy way out, it makes trading much harder. So you gotta make the hard decisions and do the hard things now, and it will make trading much easier. And the hard thing to do is to stay disciplined to your system, to your strategy. That's a very hard thing to do. In the long run, it's going to make trading much easier for you. I love that. I love that, Esp. I love that, man. Never fall into FOMO trades. That's huge. That is awesome. Like, how much has that helped you hold on to your accounts and actually make profits? And not blow account after account after account. I'm sure you have been able to hold on to your accounts so much, man. Exactly, Ty. Exactly. Yeah, I mean, I'll just always go back to, like, any professional, whether it's a professional athlete or a professional in any field, any career, they did not get there by taking the easy way out. So if you think you're going to get there in trading, you know, you have a hard pill to swallow. Well, think about it as your habits, right? What are your habits and what are you doing to change, right? Because you can have discipline for a period of time, and that's great. But have you actually changed your habits? Because your habits are what's really important, right? You can have discipline for a full week and feel great, but if you haven't changed your habits psychologically, you're going to fall right back into those habits, right? So focus on the habits first. Like, what are you doing when you're sitting at your desk trading, or you're sitting on your phone trading, or wherever you are? Like, when you take 2 losses, what are you doing? Are you closing the charts, or are you keeping the charts open? Right? That's one habit right there that can change your trading forever. Closing the charts is a habit that you can form because you are getting away from that temptation to where you don't even have to be disciplined anymore. You're just getting away from that temptation. That's one habit is, okay, 2 trades, 2 losses, I'm out. I close the charts. I don't open the charts until, let's say, 6 p.m. Eastern at night, right? Or until next morning, right? Or I'm going to close my broker and I'm just going to do some back testing or some charting. I'm not going to trade, right? That's one habit right there that can completely change everything, right? But that's more of a habit than discipline. And then once the habit becomes normal and it's an everyday habit after, a few months or a few weeks, now you're just going to stay disciplined to that all the time. It's just going to be secondhand. You're not even going to think about it. All right? And you still will make your mistakes. You'll still mess up here and there. But how do we minimize our mistakes, right? If you make a mistake, it has to be a minimal mistake. That's why I always talk about keep your losses small and your wins big, right? Same thing with when you make big mistakes in trading, keep the mistake small. Keep it small. Cut your losses. Right? And that's how you stay consistent long term, because a lot of us, when we make a mistake, it's such a drastic mistake that it absolutely ruins all of our profits, all of our progress, right? Yeah, exactly. Huge L's. So what's one way we can change that is by when we know we're messing up, we know we're making a mistake, cut it. Keep it small. Know that you're not in the right mindset to be in a trade. You shouldn't be on the charts. I know it's a lot easier said than done, for sure. But like, there's no real way of being consistently profitable in the long term, right? Unless you can lock that in. So think about changing your habits in your everyday life, becoming more disciplined every day, and then think about changing those habits in your trading. What are the little things that you do every day that you know are absolutely ruining your trading? Whatever those are, diagnose those issues, and then start working on a solution. But if you never diagnose your issue on piece of paper and actually put real thought into it on how you're going to fix it, then you're never going to fix it. Exactly, Dooley, right? Yes, the money comes back when you are disciplined and have great strategies and habits. Exactly. It does. And it comes back tenfold, right? It comes back more than you could expect. But it doesn't come back when you're thinking about the money, when you're thinking about making that money and you're thinking about the outcome. Yes, yeah, we will have, well, what day is it today? Tuesday? Yeah, we'll have a PM session today. Remember that trading is just like flipping a quarter. You can flip it 100 times and it comes out 50-50. But in that 50-50, there will be times where you lose 17, 18 straight times. There will also be times where you win 17 or 18 straight times, and that is no different from trading. It is an up and down thing, and you must take advantage of your risk management. That's so true, bro. That's so true, right? It's about finding your edge. It's about finding your edge, right? That's a good analogy, because think about it. If you flip a quarter on a trade, you could go 50-50, right? You could have a 50% win rate. But how do you start building a little bit of an edge into the market, into your strategy to get you to 55%, to get you to 60%, right? One edge is your risk management, and you don't even have to get a higher win rate if you have better risk management, if you have 1 to 2 or 1 to 3 RR trades. But if you can slightly gain an edge by having more patience, by only taking the high probability setups, by staying disciplined and only taking 1 or 2 trades a day, now you're starting to build an edge in the market against that 50% to where now you're getting closer to maybe a 60% win rate, right? But as I always say, win rate to me isn't as important as your RR, as your management of your losses. Keeping your losses small and letting your runners run, right? Letting your winners continue. That's a big part of trading. Yeah, I love that, Ty. That's a great way to put it. So Tuesday, Thursday, I always run PM, and then Monday, Wednesday, our other live trader Shosky runs Power Hour as well. So we'll always have afternoon sessions throughout the week, except for Fridays. But yeah, that's just kind of my 2 cents today, my insight. And thank you guys for your insights and your words of wisdom as well, man. Again, we're here for each other. We're here to help each other succeed, right? We are a team. We're a family. There are some amazing traders in this group. Some of you might be completely new to trading. Some of you might be struggling. You don't just have to go to me. We have some amazing traders here that are very, very kind and genuine people that truly want to help others. Reach out. Reach out in the chat. Right? If you are struggling with something, reach out and say, this is my problem. Can someone help me? Right? Can someone help me figure out this issue? And if I can't get to it in time, if I don't see your question, I'm sure there's someone else that's going to be there to help you out, right? Because we have some amazing people here. Some people with experience too, right? Some people with a lot of trading experience. So you take that, take advantage of that. Take advantage of this community, man. Right? You can just hop on the live sessions and gain this information. That's great stuff. It's good. You're going to get, you're going to learn a lot. But think about the other stuff you can learn if you just reach out. If you just ask other experienced traders for help. You're going to learn a lot of valuable stuff in your time in this community. Yeah, exactly, Brown Mamba. Well, I appreciate that, Sea Breezy. Hey, man, and again, I'm not, I do accept that, and I do thank you for saying that. But here's the difference, right? And here's the big thing. What you just said, you still had to put in that work, right? So while I can be a stepping stone and I can help you out, if you don't put in that work, nothing's going to happen. You're not going to see success. Right? So you got to give it to yourself too. Say, okay, I really did put in that work to get to this point where I'm at right now. And that's big, right? That's big. I try to, man. I try to get to every question. I really do. There's some times where my brain is just so fried and I'm just like so tired that I'm like I can't even open the chat right now. But most of the time, majority of the time, I'm on there trying to get back to everybody. No, it's not the wrong question to ask, DK. Like, I just have never traded London consistently. There's only been a few times I've ever traded London. So, again, treat it the same as New York, though, right? It's still a trading session. It's going to be moving very similar to New York. It's going to be lower volume, obviously, right? So, you just got to be more careful because it's not going to be the same as NQ. So, what I would do, if you wanted to trade it, is just backtest it for a while. Learn about it, see how the market moves during that time. Maybe paper trade it if you're interested in trading it. Try out the strategy, right? And then if you feel comfortable and you like it, cool, you can look to start trading it. We had a sweep. Yesterday's volume profile high. Took entry on the break of 2-minute fair value gap after sweep of liquidity was chasing a high, but got stopped out on a 1-hour fair value gap rejection, then straight to sell side. Oh, that was this morning, right? Yeah, so one thing about that trade is at open, what did we do this morning? And what time was that trade at? Let me see. Okay, so that was kind of leading into market open, right? Right before market open. So notice what we did leading into market open, right? We had already gotten inversion of this 4-hour, was it this 4-hour fair value gap? Or no, not this one. But we had inversion of this 4-hour fair value gap, right? And if we look at the hourly, we had also inverse this hourly fair value gap. And then we had rejected this hourly fair value gap. So while the trade might have been valid for short term, I would say in the long term, even though I had more of a range bias this morning, it was slightly more bearish as I talked about earlier, right? Just because of our inversions. So you got to look at the higher time frame bias. Okay, if we inverse the 4-hour and hourly bullish fair value gap, we're bouncing off of a bearish fair value gap. You know, we have higher likelihood of the short stepping in right now than the longs. If that makes sense. But yeah, guys, right now we are just chopping. So I think this is a good time for us to kind of take a break, walk away, not get caught up. And this is that moment right now. This is the key moment that I always talk about. What you do right now can affect the rest of your day. Are you actually going to take a break and clear your mind, take a step outside, or are you going to stare at these charts and start forcing trades the second I hop off? Right? The decision you make right now is going to be key to the rest of your trading day and the rest of your trading week. So think about that decision. Think about it. Are you going to make the smart decision and take a break when we're consolidating? Right? Or are you about to make a really bad decision? I'd say the best decision is take a break. Eat some food. Drink some coffee. Drink some water. Get some fresh air. Whatever you need to do. Come back to the charts in a little bit, right? Come back in the afternoon. Just wait. Because I know this is something that happens a lot, is right when I hop off, your discipline is gone, right? And now you just start forcing trades. And then it usually doesn't go too well. So just think about that. Think about that decision you're going to make right now. Maybe do some journaling, close out the charts, close out your broker, clear the head, come back. He said PA gets better when I hop off. Hey, it might. But is your mindset going to be in a good place? If it is, cool. If not, take a break. I'm going to come back to the charts in a little bit. I'm going to take a little break here, and I'm just going to kind of be watching these charts. Right? If something really clean sets up in the next hour, you know, maybe we'll have a setup. But if we just start chopping like this for, you know, all of lunch hour, then yeah, I'll come back at 1:30. So I'll come back to the charts here pretty soon. Just kind of take a look. If there's anything good setting up, we'll look for it. But if not, we'll just let PA do its thing. But I'll be on my computer. I'll be getting some work done and stuff. So I'll be keeping my eyes on the charts after I take this break. So I'll just shoot you guys an announcement when I'm back on. Let you know if there's anything I'm looking at. Alright, guys. Sound good? Yes, sir. Patience is key. Patience pays. All right, appreciate you guys a lot. Thanks for your insights. Thanks for your questions. I will talk to you guys soon. Okay. ¿Qué dices, Eber? ¿Qué es un problema? No problem. I got you guys. I got you. For sure, man. Alright, guys. Well, I'll talk to you soon. God bless. Peace out, my friends. Peace out.